You got a couple of mango trees there? Is that what I'm to understand?
Yeah. I usually go on people's property and get them, but technically yes.
Technically, you're on other people's property stealing mangoes, or technically this is mango season?
I don't want to say stealing. I mean, that's kind of. I mean, they fall on the ground sometimes. I'm just like, I have like a little makeshift fruit getter. I use like an old milk carton and a broomstick, and then I just kind of.
Look at you. Hey, man, necessity is the mother of invention. Mangoes, bush or trees?
Oh, they're trees. Yeah, they get pretty
big trees.
Oh, yeah,
big tall. Okay.
And there's different variations of mango. So everybody in my neighborhood, in my little community of Gulf, I don't want to say it. We'll go for it. I don't care. Everybody has like a different variation of a mango tree. So it's pretty cool. So I have like 20 different mangoes in my thing.
I'll be honest with you. I came into the mango game late, but mangoes I absolutely love now.
Yeah.
My boys love them, and I will be honest with you. I had to YouTube how to cut those son of a bitches.
You didn't know how to cut them.
Well, you've got that pit dead in the center.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know, and I think I'm doing it right. It always seems like I'm leaving a lot of. It's not even a pit though. There's just this like wood block.
Called a seed. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's just this wood block right down the middle of the mango, because it's not just in the center. There's a complete slice of mango as a whole that goes right down the center that's just hard. You know what I'm talking about, JR?
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's a pit and/or a seed, JR. I mean,
it is a seed.
It is called a seed.
It is a seed. It's just like the outside of it is covering the seed, so you got to open it up, and then that's when you get the inside of the seed.
See, I'm not doing it right then.
Right.
I've been probably throwing away copious amounts of mango, not understanding exactly how to cut those damn things.
It's all right.
All right. Now, well, speaking of mangoes, we have Attorney Moses DeWitt on the line.
How you guys doing?
We are fine. Mo, how are you, coming from another Mo?
I'm doing great. Can't complain.
Oh,
we got a little baby.
Who are we hearing from right there?
We have a special guest this evening. My 2-year-old Carter is in the room because his mom's working late. His mom, my wife.
Okay.
So trying to keep him entertained over there while we do this very important legal segment.
As a lawyer type, did you name Carter after the Magna Carta?
Sort of. A lot of my favorite musical artists have the name Carter in their name, and then we just kind of like the name.
Okay.
All right. You're a Jay-Z fan or Lil Wayne, either way.
Both.
Or Backstreet Boys. Oh, wow.
I did not think of the Backstreet Boys reference. I'll say that much.
His favorite rapper is Aaron Carter.
Don't lie, Mo. You're old school Backstreet Boys fan.
Yeah, you have a tattoo of Aaron Carter's face on your thigh.
Hey, we were having this discussion. What do you consider a 2-year-old? There's baby, infant, and toddler. What do you? Let's get a legal opinion on this. At what age does a baby become an infant, and then the infant becomes a toddler? Because that can affect the charges that you face if you. Why are you laughing? This is a legitimate question.
A lot of toddler crimes out there. I mean, I'd say once they get to like 2,
there's
year and a half,
going
2.
out there robbing banks, bro.
No. I'm saying if you commit a crime against, like if you throw a baby at a police officer, which some moron just did yesterday or today,
or if a toddler robs somebody.
No, the toddler is not committing the crime here. The crime,
stole my car.
The crime is being committed against the toddler. So, depending upon the age, that can affect the sentencing. Yeah.
I mean, anytime there's a crime against a minor, yes, typically. And there's also elder abuse crimes as well. So age can become a factor. I don't think they really distinguish between, infant, baby, or toddler, but certainly, a jury's not going to like any sort of crime against a innocent, helpless person, whether it's a toddler, an elderly person, or anyone.
Right, nor should they. Okay, so Carter, Do you look at Carter as you don't look at him as a baby? Is it a toddler or an infant? What would you say?
I'd say he's a toddler at this point because he's running around and causing all sorts of problems, so giving us trouble.
And to answer your question, Spike, I think that's the delineating factor there. At the point that they're running around and they're bumping into stuff and knocking things down, now I think you have a toddler on your hands. I mean, a toddler is a form of an infant, but I think you can refer to him as a toddler. I think infant is when they're crawling around. I'd say out of 8-9 months, you're probably not a baby anymore. You're probably an infant. Yeah.
So baby, infant, toddler.
I think that's the hierarchy. I think that's how it goes right there. All right. This is attorney Moses DeWitt. Let's refresh. Let's reboot. Tell people a little bit about yourself, your law offices, and what you do and specialize in.
Yeah, sure. Attorney Mo DeWitt, justcallmo.com. It's DeWitt Law Firm. We have offices in Tampa and Orlando, and we do mostly injury work and family law. So if you guys need some assistance out there, you can go to justcallmo.com or give us a call at 866-CALL-MO.
Okay. All right. There you go. Remind me, because I don't want to get off of the subject of Mo, that I have some mango information. Dana Say just texted me. So now let me ask you this. How long have you been an attorney?
A little over 10 years at this point, I think.
Did you start in one field and switch to another, or when you went into law school, you knew exactly the type of law you wanted to practice?
No, I don't think anyone really knows when they go to law school what they want to practice. And then I graduated back in 2010, I think it was. When basically everyone was in foreclosure at that point. There were no jobs. So I started at the public defender's office, and they basically just threw you into a courtroom, and you just started trying cases that way. And so that's kind of how I learned to do trials and kind of became comfortable in the courtroom.
Right. See, if I were going to enter into the law field, I think I would know I would want to be a prosecutor. I would want to be a prosecuting attorney. But that is something that you have to work into. You can't graduate law school and find a gig as a prosecutor, or can you? You
can, absolutely. So, I mean, like when I was a brand new public defender, most of the prosecutors we were going against were actually, they had a little more they were a little more experienced because they start them somewhere else than where I was. But they were usually, 1 to 2 year prosecutors. But you can start straight out of law school as a prosecutor. They just start you on kind of the low-level crimes, and you work your way up.
Correct me if I'm wrong or mistaken, but public defenders get a bad rap. And maybe I'm just pulling my reference from television shows, but it always seems like people are telling public defenders, other lawyers are saying, you can do better than this. Why do you want to waste your time with this? You're not really affecting any change. Am I wrong? Are there attorneys that enjoy public defending, or is that a stepping stone onto something else?
Well, I think it depends on the person. Just like anything, there's probably good public defenders and bad public defenders, just like there's good prosecutors and bad prosecutors. I mean, in my opinion, if you're going to be a trial attorney, starting either at the state attorney's office as a prosecutor or at the public defender's office as a public defender is probably the best experience you can get because they throw you right into the courtroom. But yeah, I mean, public defenders do kind of get bad rap.
You're in court often, right? There's a lot of court.
Every day. I mean, your office is basically the courtroom. You show up at usually 8 a.m., 8:30 a.m., and you report directly to the courtroom, and you're there probably at least till lunch, some days till the end of the day.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Then that would make sense as far as that being the best boots on the ground training. Then. All right. As Moses DeWitt joins us every Friday, what he does is he presents a case. Obviously, Kevin is not here to weigh in on what we think the outcome should be or would be, but Attorney Moses DeWitt is going to present us a case snatched from the headlines, an actual case, and before giving us the results, both or all of us, JR, Spike, and myself included, will weigh in. Go ahead, give us the case of the week.
All right. So this one's snatched directly from my office. So we have an individual who's driving along. He gets rear-ended by another vehicle. They pull over to the side of the road. both parties step out. The guy who rear ends him walks up to him and just starts beating the crap out of him, punching him, beating the crap out of him, hops back in his car, takes off. So police come, they do a police report. They can't find the guy.
It's the guy that was responsible for the rear ending.
Yeah, the at-fault party, we'll call him.
Okay.
So the guy who's at fault, he takes off. They can't find him. And so the guy who was not only rear-ended, but then beat up, wants to know if he has a claim for injuries. And so in this case, though, he does state that he was not injured by the car accident, by being rear-ended. He was only injured by the guy coming in and hitting him. So, obviously they can't find the person who hit him, but he does have uninsured motorist coverage. So the question is, does he have a claim against his uninsured motorist policy, and can he make a recovery?
David just answered.
Yeah,
I was going to say, he gave it away already.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carter.
Thanks, Carter, yeah. He's going to be a lawyer one day.
Okay. Spike, why don't you lead?
All right, so I was picturing this in my head. Road rage is probably the cause of this. I'm thinking the guy in the front, the injured party, probably slammed on brakes on purpose to make him, trying to scare the other guy. So they bumped us, and then he got out, beat him down, and ran off. So in this particular case, the injured party has no claim because he caused the fault.
Okay.
Well, but if I can jump in, and
use your jump in on your part.
Okay, well, fine. All right. JR, go ahead.
On the mic show now. Actually, you know what? This actually happened to my friend, minus the getting the ass beat down. The thing is, though, whenever somebody hits you and does a hit and run, I think in the state of Florida, if you can't prove that they were driving and they hit you, they're not at fault. So I think he's this guy that got not only hit in the face but also got rear-ended as well, because he cannot prove that the person that hit him in the face or with the car can't prove that it's him. So.
Ooh. Okay, so both you and Spike are pretty much along the same lines right now, correct?
Yes. He has no.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, what the point I wanted to make before I was so rudely interrupted by Spike was, Attorney Mo, Sister Witt, is that Spike's whole argument was based on a very speculative theory, which is to say that the driver that rear-ended the victim was not at fault. From what I understand about road accidents is it doesn't matter if the person in front slams on the brake or whatever. If you rear-end somebody, you're the at-fault party. That's how from what my understanding, insurance companies look at it as if you're the rear-ender, you are automatically at fault. So I would say he certainly does have a claim with his insurance, especially in light of the fact that they cannot find the injurer. So I would say that the insurance company should pay for the car damage from his uninsured policy. Now, the fact that you say he said he was not injured by the car crash would make me believe that while he can have the damage of his car fixed from the uninsured motorist policy, he cannot get any hospital bills paid and or any sort of, punitive, if you will, damages because the car insurance does not include you getting your ass beat.
Okay.
Yes.
So he's getting a partial award, but certainly nothing on the ass whipping.
All right, so no damages for ass whooping.
No.
Negative.
That's a technical term, technical legal term. We learned that in law school.
Of
You
course.
can use that in the court of law for sure.
Absolutely, if you want to get dragged out in handcuffs. All right, so is that everybody?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
everybody.
All right, so pretty good answers across the board tonight. So if you're rear-ended by someone in the state of Florida, as you kind of alluded to, there's a presumption that the person who rear-ended you is at fault. So it is a rebuttable presumption, but it is a presumption. And in this case, there was no evidence that the person who rear-ended him was not at fault. However, for an intentional tort, are typically not covered by insurance. So if someone does something intentionally, like punches somebody or gives an ass whooping, as you call it, that usually would not be covered by an insurance policy for kind of obvious reasons. So here, the uninsured motorist policy, so UM coverage, which we've talked about before, is very important coverage because if someone hits you and hurts you and they don't have insurance, it steps into the shoes of the at-fault party. But here, since it was an intentional tort, there's no insurance coverage on it. So technically, there would not be coverage and he would not get paid in this case. However, and this is kind of a caveat, I guess, in this actual case that we had, for some reason the insurance company paid him. And I think it was basically because it was just a low policy, so they just cut the check and said, we don't want to deal with it.
Oh, wow.
So,
yeah.
Now, when they paid him, did they say they were paying him for the damage to the automobile or because he got beat?
They didn't. So let me back that up. Great question. So they did pay to repair. Sorry about the background. They did pay to repair his vehicle. That's no issue. Because there was coverage for that. So yeah, they absolutely paid to repair his vehicle, but then they gave him another $10,000 for the beatdown.
pain and suffering.
Oh, man, $10,000 on the beat down. I might take a couple of haymakers for for $10K.
You can kick me in the nuts if you want.
Now, question, Mo. Were you guys the attorney for him, or were you the attorney trying to fight that?
No, we were the attorney for the guy who got the beat down.
So y'all fought the insurance company and won.
Yeah,
Understand something. Moses DeWitt is always on the winning side. All right,
we try. But frankly, we took the case to see if we could help find the at-fault party. And when you do that, you investigate all possible insurance avenues. And then basically, when we sent notice of our representation to the insurance company, they just mailed back a check.
All right. So in a case where none of us were exactly right, Attorney Mo, you would say I was the closest to being correct because I said the car would be fixed and there would be no damage, while both of them said he would get nothing.
Well, to be fair, I think Carter got it right the first time. I mean, he was the first one to get the right answer.
That's not fair. That's called negligence.
Yeah, it's called nepotism, you dummy, and that's the wrong word. It's called insider information. He's looking at the files on his daddy's desk.
He said it's called negligence.
Yeah, it's called negligence. Your Honor, I would like to plead negligence. All right, boy, he's for a 2-year-old. He's awfully active at 7. Shouldn't he be in bed about now?
He'll be running around for a few more hours.
It's the weekend.
Oh,
man.
a few more.
Weekend,
Boy,
yeah.
when Mama's gone, little Carter get loose, huh? Is that
Oh,
is
yeah.
that how Daddy running the joint?
Probably get into the cookies next. Have all sorts of fun around here.
Don't get into the Kool-Aid. Don't let him get to the Kool-Aid yet.
All right. What do you got planned for the weekend?
Oh, good question. I have no idea yet. We're just trying to get through today first.
Today, listen. I hear you. All right. This is Attorney Moses DeWitt. You can tell them where they can reach you and how they can reach you.
JustCallMo.com, Mo, M-O-E, JustCallMo.com, 866-CALL-MO. If you're injured on the go, just call Mo.
There you go, right there. And if you just call Mo with no E, you're going to be short a number. So
Yes,
think
you
about
will.
it. All right?
I think that's a taxi cab
All
service
right.
in New Jersey.
All right, Mo. Thank you. And give Carter that extra cookie. He deserves it.
Absolutely.
And we'll talk to you next week. All right,
thanks,
my
guys.
friend.
Take care.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
All right. Just call Mo. That is again. Bye, Carter. Did he say bye?
He did say bye, huh?
All right. That is Attorney Moses DeWitt.
Can you say bye, Carter? Say bye-bye. Thanks, buddy. See you guys next week. Have fun. Have a good weekend. Stay safe.